Takweer to Inshiqaq. Let's continue. Nahmaduhu nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem amma ba'd. Suratul Takweer. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. When sun is wrapped up in darkness. So here talking about in Suratul Takweer how the sun gets wrapped up in darkness. So we are doing Suratul Takweer and inshallah we'll continue. We are doing just 30. So when the sun is wrapped up in darkness and when the stars falls dispersing and when the mountains are removed set in motion and when the full term she camel are neglected and when the wild beasts are gathered and when the seas are filled with flame and when the souls are paired and when the girl who was buried alive is asked for what sin she was killed when the pages are made public and when the sky is stripped away and when the hell is set ablaze and when the Jannah is brought near, a soul will then know what it has brought with it. At the time, each person will know what deeds it has come with before, and Allah, what deeds each person has brought, because that day deeds will matter. Over here, the detailed picture of Day of Judgment is painted how the sun will be wrapped up. Kuvirat is to wrap something up in a round way, in a circular motion. So the sun will be wrapped up, so it will lose its light. Stars shall scatter, meaning the force that is holding them in their place today, it shall be finished. The mountains will not stand in their place, meaning every structure and every system shall collapse and everything will be in chaos. Nothing will remain as it was, and the most prized possessions will be abandoned by people. What is mentioned over here, full term pregnant she camel, they will be abandoned by people. Animals will be gathered, even and especially wuhush, wild beast, because such animals usually they live alone. Bears they live alone generally. Lions, also cheetahs. Also, how are they? How are they generally? They hunt alone or they live alone. Generally, you see that the way they live, they don't gather up in huge numbers together. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wa iza wuhushu hushirat. Even they shall come together from far off places. The seas will burn, water will burn. Yes, and this shows that there will be a destruction at molecular level. At a molecular level, water will finish, mountains will collapse, and the sand, this mud, will extinguish the fire. So the earth will be like a flat piece of white bread with all of mankind standing on it with no place to hide. And this is when souls will be joined with the resurrected bodies. The innocent girl that were killed in pure injustice, they will be asked. The killer will not be given a chance to even explain themselves. So those who abuse, they will not be asked. Who will be asked? Those who were abused. Remember that killing children, yes, people did it in the past, but sadly, it is done today also. Here, one Qais bin Asim, he came to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam Hadith, and he said that in Jahaliya, meaning before the Islam, he buried alive 8 daughters. Allahu Akbar. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, for each daughter, free a slave. What was the thing? Uh, for each daughter, free a slave. He said, I have camels. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, then slaughter a camel each for each daughter that you have buried. We see that even though this man had repented, he had accepted Islam, still Prophet ﷺ adhered that he should give kafara. Why? Because on the day of judgment, Allah will ask the girl who was buried alive, not the one who buried, the girl who was buried alive. And also we see here that the record of deed shall be open, publicized, published. Each person will know what is in his record, and the veil of the sky shall be removed. So everything will be in clear view. He will be viewed, heaven will be brought into view. Each person will know ultimately what it has brought. So alimat nafsum ma ahdarat. And this is what will matter at that time. What about our clothes, our closets that are full of nice, expensive clothes? And what about our shoes? What about our money? What about the gold that is in the lockers? What about all those things? Will they come us on the day of judgment? No. What will come with us? Our deeds. And number 15. So I swear by retreating stars, those that run their course and disappear by the night as it closes in and by the dawn when it breathes, that indeed Quran is a word conveyed by noble messenger who, meaning angel Jibril, who is possessed by power with owner of throne, secured in position, obeyed there in heavens and trustworthy, meaning Jibril al-Islam, the leader of the angels, strong and powerful, influential, meaning he is such that whatever command he gives, the rest of the angels obeys him. He is the one who has delivered the Quran to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Allah says, your companion is not at all mad, and he has already seen the angel in the clear horizon. And Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not withholder of knowledge of the unseen, and meaning whatever he has been informed, he has passed it on. And Quran is not the word of a devil expelled from the heavens. So where are you going? Why do you not listen to this advice? Inna huwa illa zikrun lil alameen. It is not except a reminder of the worlds. Quran is reminder to who? For everyone. Inna huwa li zikrun lil alameen. The Quran is meant to be a reminder for who? For all the people. Quran is for all, but who will rely, take it as a reminder, benefit from this reminder? Liman sha minkum ay yastaqim, for whoever wills among you take a right course, means whoever wants to fix himself. Yes, the Quran will serve as a reminder to him, and you do not will accept that Allah is Lord of the world. This is why we should worry that Allah should be happy and with us, because what if good opportunities are taken away from us, snatched away from us, because we cannot even want will to do something good unless Allah allows us to do. So it is the will of Allah that Alhamdulillah we do anything good in this world. Suratul Infitar is a sama'un fatarat wa izal kawakibun tasarat wa izal biharu fujirat. When the sky break apart, and when the stars fall scattering, and when the seas are erupted, and when the contents of the graves are scattered, graves, whatever is in them scattered, nothing will remain hidden. So whatever is in the grave will be scattered, and nothing is hidden from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what here is mentioned, whatever is there, nothing is hidden from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, what is it we are seeing over here? Allah is mentioning whatever the things you are doing, and when contents of graves are scattered here, graves, whatever is in them, nothing will remain hidden. And ayah number 5, alimat nafsun ma qaddamat wa akharat. So, ayah number 5, alimat nafsun, a soul will then know what he has put forth and kept back, meaning on the day of judgment, a person will see every single action of his. He will see every single deed he has done. Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. Ayah number 6. O mankind, what has deceived you concerning your Lord who is generous? Who is generous? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why you are deceived? Allazi khalaqa fasawwaka fa'adalak. Ayah number 7, it says, He is the one who created you, proportionate you, and balanced you. So here it continues in ayah number 8 onwards, in whatever form He will, He has assembled you. Ayah number 8. So here say, Fi ayyin suratim ma sha'a rakkabak. So the Lord who has made you so beautiful has placed everything in your body in such appropriate fashion, every hair, finger, nail, every part of the body. He didn't cover the entire forehead with hair like that of eyebrows. No, he didn't make one arm big and other arm small. No, I mean the skin is different on your hands. The skin is different on the back of your hands. Isn't that? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made you perfectly in the best way. And look at how all the joints, Allah has covered them with skin, with flesh. Allah has not created you in haphazard fashion. Allah made you, gave importance to you and made your whole body consolidated in one piece. Not that part of it are broken so that you lose them. No, you don't lose part of your body. Even if a part breaks, it says attached to your body under the skin. This is how Allah has made you. How could you ever think like you were a result of some big bang, some accident that happened millions of years ago? I mean, this is foolish. You think there is no God? How could you think there is no God? How could you be without a God? How could you be without someone fashioning you? I mean, just look at ourselves, our body, and could it be the result of Big Bang? Could it be? It's not possible. Why are you so deceived about Allah? This is the work of Hakim, Alim, Kareem. Kalla bal tukazzibuna biddeen. No, but you deny the recompense. Ayah number 9. And indeed, appointed over you are the keepers, noble and recording. They know whatever you do. Kiraman Katibin, they know exactly what you're doing. They will write it down. Kiraman Katibin. Ya'maluna ma taf'alun. Indeed, the righteous will be in pleasure. And number 13, it says, Innal abrara lafi na'im. And indeed, the wicked will be in the hellfire. They will enter to the burn there on the day of resurrection. And number 15, وَإِنَّ الْفُجَّارَ لَفِي جَحِيمٍ يَصْلَوْنَهَا يَوْمَ الدِّينِ. And never they there from day absent. And what can make you know what is the day of judgment? And then what can make you know what is the day of judgment? Because there is nothing like the day of judgment that you have witnessed in this world. Any calamity, any moment of fear that you may have experienced in this world, multiply that by infinity, and that is the day of judgment. And number 19, because here surah ends, Yawma la tamliku nafsun li nafsin shay'a. It is the day when a soul will not possess for another soul power to do anything. Means no mother, father, daughter, sister can do anything for you. And command that day is entirely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wal amru yawma izillillah. So command that day is entirely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So make yourself, make your effort for lillahi today, for Allah, only for Allah, so that our decision that Allah make that day is also good, inshallah. Suratul Mutaffafin. So here this surah Mutaffafin, another this surah one after another, like these are the shorter surahs, short surahs in just 30. Here talking about Wailul lil Mutaffafin. Woe to those who give less than due. They give less. What they have to give? They have to give the accurate measure, but they give less. who, when they take a measure from people, they take in full, meaning those who take their right is full. But then when they give by measure or by weight to them, they cause loss. They have different standard for themselves and for the people. And ayah number 4, it says, Ala yazunnu ulaika anhum mab'usun. Allah asks, do they not think that they will be resurrected for a tremendous day? Means the day of judgment. Here, ayah number 6, Yawma yaqumun nasu li rabbil alameen. The day when all of mankind will stand before the Lord of the worlds. Each person has to face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this meeting, that we need to prepare for it in this life. We prepare for many days, sometimes we spend weeks, months advanced to prepare for some party or something, right? For weddings and so on and so forth. All of these they come, and they the same way we have to prepare for the hereafter day of judgment. There is a hadith, Prophet ﷺ said, the day mankind will stand for the Lord, it is a day the length of which is 50,000 years. And at that time they will be immersed in their sweat up to half their years. Some people will be immersed up to half their years. The Prophet ﷺ recited this ayah, Yawma yaqumun nasu li rabbil alamin. Allah said, what will be your state when Allah will gather you for 50,000 years? Like how an arrow is placed in a bull ready to be shot, but then he will not even look at you. Meaning, for so long after the people are gathered, Allah will not even look at them. This is when people will go from prophet to prophet, asking them, please beg Allah to begin the judgment. Even if we are to go to hell, send us there. We want to get out there. We had enough of waiting, 50,000 years of waiting. But for the believers, this standing will be very easy. Prophet ﷺ said, Yawma yaqumun nasu li rabbil alamin. That day will be like 50,000 years, but for the believer, this will be very easy. The declining of the sun until it sets, like the declining of the sun until it goes down. These days, especially, like when you are fasting, you look at the sunset, especially, right? Because you have to break the fast and you are so concerned, especially in the starting fastings, right? So that's how the things will be. But who are going to the hellfire, those who are disbelievers, they are immersed in the sweat. May Allah protect us all. And number 7, so here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about how the things will be. It is so difficult those days. Kalla inna kitab al fujjari lafi sijjin. No, indeed, the record of the wicked is in Sijjin. Here mention about those who go to Illiyin and Sijjin. First mention of about the Sijjin, the people who will go to the Sijjin are the wicked one. And what can make you know what is Sijjin? It is their destination recorded in register inscribed. Woe the day to the deniers who deny the day of recompense, disbelieve in Akhirah. Disastrous. It will cause great destruction for person on the day of judgment, and none deny it except every sinful transgressor. When our verses are recited to him, he says, legends of the former people. He says, I don't understand these tales. Kalla bal ra'ana ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun. No, rather, the stain has covered their hearts of that which they were earning. Surah Mutaffifin, ayah number 14. This is very important. So many sins that there's no fear of Allah left in the heart, and the heart is as though it is rusted. So filthy, without any shine, it is damaged, irreversible. Because you know that when your car gets rusted, you have to fix it immediately. If you don't, it will spread, and once it spread, khalas, it damaged. The same way, if it get rusted, if you don't clean it time to time, what will happen? The rust will increase. Finally, khalas, right? Ayah number 15, no, indeed, from their Lord that day they will be screen. لَمَحْجُوبُونَ. There will be a barrier between them and Allah. They will not be allowed to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then indeed they will enter, burn in hellfire. Then it will be said to them, this is what you used to deny. Kalla inna kitab al-abrari lafi illiyin. No, indeed, the record of righteous is in Illiyin. And what can make you know what is Illiyun? It is their destination recorded in a register inscribed, which is witnessed by those brought near to Allah, meaning the angels witness that record in which the name of righteous are written. Have you ever seen list maybe of people who have graduated or maybe not their names but their numbers or something list, right? Some people go and find out like this is my name and this is your name, yes. But if your name is not there, how you feel it? So now what Illiyin is a place above in the sky where the souls and the records of righteous are kept. Place where the righteous will be admitted. Who are they? Who are Abrar. There's a hadith, Prophet ﷺ said, one prayer followed by another prayer with no idle talk between the two is recorded in Illiyin. One prayer which is followed by another prayer. Between the two prayers, a person didn't say a single word that was useless, no love speech, meaning he was basically engaged in the worship of Allah. Either he was silent or he was saying something good. That is considered hasana, good deed. His prayer, his deeds will be recorded where Illiyin. So if a person talks about the prayers, then what will happen? His name will be cut off. So let's do ourselves a favor. And one day, someday, perhaps today, let's have our name also, our salah also written among the Illiyin. Like we're gonna just talk what is good, doing the prayer, and what is not required, better to be quiet, silent. Innal abrara lafi na'im, ayah number 22. Indeed, the righteous will be in pleasure. Pleasure means what? Here, there's a hadith, Umar radiallahu anhu, he asked Kaab radiallahu anhu, what is the state of the highest level of Jannah? Meaning the people who live in the highest level, describe them to us. He said, Amir al-Mu'mineen, it has what no eye has seen or ear has heard. Allah exalted has prepared such a home in which are good spouses, fruits, drinks, and has set a seal on it, and none among his creation seen it, neither Jibril Amin nor any other angel. He whose name is among the Illiyin will enter it, and he will enter the place which no one has seen, such that the person among them will come out, meaning out of his home, and he will walk in his kingdom. So no home in Jannah will remain except that the light of his face will enter it, and they will rejoice at its fragrance, and they will say, amazing is the fragrance. It is from one of the people of Illiyin who is walking in Jannah. He is walking in Jannah and we are getting his fragrance. So as for this, it is necessary to be of Abrar. And who are Abrar? Abrar who do bir, gain as many as good deeds as possible. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among them. Alal araikil alal araiki yanzurun. On adorned couches observing, you will recognize in their faces the radiance of pleasure. They will be given to drink pure wine which was sealed. They are the one who would open it. And number 26, the last of it is musk. So for this, let the competitors compete. Those who want to get ahead of others, those who want to be successful ones, those with outstanding performance, what should they do? They should accelerate at this cause, and its mixture is of tasneem, a spring from which those near to Allah drink. Indeed, those who committed crime used to laugh at those who believe. The same people, once they were laughed at, they were laughed. So when they passed by them, they would exchange derisive glances. And number 31 onwards, and when they returned to their people, they would return jesting. And when they saw them, they would indeed, those are truly lost. The people of Jannah, once upon a time of this world, they were called Saloon, and they had not been sent as a guardians over them. So today, those who believe are laughing at the disbelievers on the adorned couches, observing. Have the disbelievers not been rewarded this day for what they used to do? Those who mock at the believers today will be mocked at tomorrow, because what is given now shall be taken them. Suratul Inshiqaq, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Is a samau shaqqat, when the sky has split open. Again and again talking about Day of Judgment. Just imagine the state of that day. The sky has split open. Why? And the ayah number 2 continues, and has responded to its Lord and was obliged to do so. And when the earth has been extended, so much so that ayah number 4, and has cast that within it and relinquished it, meaning the earth will be extended such that it will become empty. Nothing will be remain hidden inside the earth. Every bone, every seed, every dead, every stone, every insect thrown out. Why? And has responded to its Lord, was obliged to do so. It befits the earth to obey the Master. Ya ayyuhal insanu, O mankind, innaka kadihun, indeed you are laboring towards your Lord with great exertion and will meet him. One day you will meet him. One day you will end up with him. You are not here in this world forever, because each day we live is drawing us closer to the death. You see, everything has end. One day we begin study the Quran, one day we'll end it, right? And in sense, I am talking about like completing one course and the another course. Like you started your course, first course, one juz 1 to juz 30, and another you like what starts it ends. That's what I'm talking about. So we will be ending ourselves. Like one day we will all be dying, isn't it? And number 7, then as for who is given his record in his right hand, those are the lucky people, right hand. So we should make dua also. Allah, make our judgment easy. Allahumma hasibni hisaban yasir. And we want our records to be in the right hand. How? Like he will be judged with an easy account. Meaning, yes, Allah might ask him, he wants, but he will be forgiven. Who? The one who has given his record in the right hand. And he will return to his people in happiness. But as for he who is given his record behind his back, he will cry out for destruction and enter into burn in a place. And indeed, he had once been among his people in happiness. Ayah number 13. The people who will be given the record in the right hand, they will rejoice with their families when on the day of judgment. And the people who will be given the record in the left hand, Allah says they rejoice right now with their families, so much so they forgot Allah, so much so that they forgot Allah's haq. You see, Prophet ﷺ, he also had family life. After all, he had a very big family. Not one five, many wives, not one friend, many friends, not one companion, many companions, not even one servant, many servants. But what do we learn? Aisha radiallahu anha said the Prophet ﷺ, he would be at home helping his family, but when azan would be given, he would become a stranger. He would go because the he want to spend the time in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, isn't it? Nobody is saved, like nobody is exempted from the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Innahu zanna an lan yahur. So here indeed he had thought he would never return to Allah. Zan. The righteous person lives this life with his family, fearful of his Lord, and the sinful person is living with his family, forgetful of this world, in the hereafter. But yes, indeed, his Lord was ever of him, saying, so I swear by twilight glow, and by the night and what it envelopes, and by the moon when it becomes full, that you will surely experience state after state. So what is the matter with them that they do not believe? Means what is the matter that they do not believe? What happened? Why they are not believing it? Ayah number 21 onwards, when Quran is recited to them, they do not prostrate to Allah, they do not do sajda. But those who disbelieved deny, and Allah is most knowing of what they keep in themselves. So give them glad tidings of painful punishment, because Allah is so upset. He's saying, give them glad tidings of punishment. Ayah number 25, except for those who believe and do righteous deeds. For them is a reward uninterrupted. غير ممنون. Why is uninterrupted? Because their deeds were like that also. Deeds were also uninterrupted. This we stop here. Inshallah, we'll continue in the next class. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Do subscribe the channel, please. Channel name is Ilm Quran for All.